All right, everybody. Let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do the thing known as B-Baw. Is it known as B-Baw? It is now. We are in 2034. We are fresh off of 2 tumultuous off seasons in which we lost some key players. We drafted this guy in the first round of the last draft. And now we have another important draft coming up that we need to kind of take advantage of here. Also, again, a reminder that, Juan Guerrero got hurt again. So, that's not great. Celtics choked. They did. They did. Okay, can I just say something basketball-wise? Okay. Trae Young. Ice Trae. Sure, because whatever. He's cold. That's fine. Trae Young hitting a deep 3 and shivering is so cringe. Oh, it's so cringe. Oh my God. I almost died from cringe when I saw that. Holy hell. Ice Trae hits a clutch 3. That's cold as fuck. Oh, like, so cringe. Anyway, baseball. Really quickly, a look to the team. Catcher-wise, don't need to specifically scout for catchers. We do have the fish in the system, but, if we find a catcher, that'd be good. First base, we're good, unless it's a generational talent. Second base, we're good, unless it's a generational talent. Third base, we're good. Shortstop, we're definitely good. It's still the outfield. Like, we still lack an elite outfielder. And we need to fix that. And then obviously the starting pitching as well still needs to improve. The bullpen's still okay. So outfield, starting pitching. Those are going to be our focuses. We have the 5th overall pick. How do we want to do this? Ooh, how do we want to do this? I'm not worried about the closers at all, even if they are generational. And Dan Armstrong might be. I think we're just going to look at the top of the list. There's enough that we need. Yeah, there's enough that we need. And we have a high enough pick that we got to make sure that we get the pick right. So that is the game plan. I'm aware of side talks. And I'm aware of the fuck Trae Young chance. I'm aware. I am aware. All right. Altoona, more injuries. 4-4 on the season's not too bad. Okay, so far it does not like Yusniel Guerrero. It does like the other 2. I don't know if they'll exactly be generational, but we'll look at them again later. Let's go for Henry Wells, Willard McCullough, and let's also look at Darius Ambrose. Darius Ambrose. What a name. What a name. God, we're still going to be right around 500, aren't we? Imagine... Ooh, okay, so McCullough's not looking great. Ambrose and Wells are all right. Imagine if we did not lose our 2 best pitchers. We would have been a playoff team last season and this season. It's tragic. Tsuyoshi Takahashi. Let's look at you. Alonzo Ruiz. And Johnny Welch. Johnny Welch. Not even going to get on Trae Young's case. Celtics absolutely blew it. It's true. They did. They did. I wasn't paying attention to that game as much as I was paying attention to hockey, but I did see a good amount of the 4th quarter. All right, who else got hurt? David Sanchez got hurt. We just can't stop getting hurt. LA Kings fans outside of Crash Andrews equal POS. No. You can't generalize like that. You only sign players at the end of the season. You can't. There are mid-season extensions, yes, but I mean it's going to be expensive regardless. Let's go for Grant Riley. Let's go for Carlo Bravo and Jim Barton. A lot of starting pitchers. Not sure if I'm handling scouting the right way, to be honest. I'm a little bit worried. Maybe I should do more generalized scouting. We already looked at a lot of guys. You know what? Let's do some generalized scouting. At least one go around. So we'll go starting pitchers in the West, Central, and East. Let's do some generalized scouting this year as well. Oh my God, the amount of injuries are insane. The amount of injuries are insane. Let's do international starting pitcher. And then it was the outfield. Let's do left field West. Left field Central. All right, let's handle that. Let's handle our business. We need another good draft here because, yeah, we are still a sub 500 team. All right, so starting pitchers are good. Let's do left field East, left field International, center field West. That works. That works. That works. 55 days out from the draft. And we are a very mid baseball team still. All right, so we did center field West. Let's do center field Central, center field East, center field International. Beautiful. This is a risk, but hopefully it works out for us. 24 and 30. Not good. Not good. Right field West. Right field Central. Right field East. Realize there's very some chance of a Seattle-Vegas playoff matchup. Imagine, though. Imagine. That would be pretty fun. Especially if Seattle won. All right. So we need a right field international. And then we got to start looking at the top projected prospects according to our scouts. It is Reaver. It is. Multiple starters. Oh, God. Do we scout out someone 100%? Or at least have that base. I think we got to go for base interest. Honestly, Kyle Borden for the hell of it. Kyle Borden for the hell of it. He's a third baseman. We don't necessarily need third baseman. There's also Eric Gomes. Let's look at these two. Let's look at these two. I have a terrible feeling about this upcoming draft, but okay, both those guys kind of fell off a cliff. All right, we got to get the best information we can on the best players possible. How are we going to do this? Shout out to the Dick in chat for Nails LM. What's up? This is a first baseman in Weber. I just kind of want to make sure that that guy's not elite. Didn't mean to paste that. I don't know. I think he did. It's fine. I don't give a shit. Francisco Espinoza in left. Let's get more info on you. Again, I'm not worried about the closers at all. Another catcher, Owen Valley. There's a couple of catchers up there. We didn't do general scouting about catchers. Honestly, why not risk it? Screw it. Let's do West catchers, Central catchers, East catchers. This is about as risky as we've gotten with our scouting process. I don't think it's going to pay off, but hey, we're going to try. We're going to try. Let's go international catcher. We got 3 weeks to try and pull this off of team rank. What, did I go closer? Uh-oh. Did I accidentally set one up as closer? Why do I have all that information on those closers all of a sudden? Oh, I definitely set up one as fuck. Which one was it? Oh, no. Okay. The only problem is, what? I gotta go back. I gotta go back in the stream. Oh, boy. It was the bronze? I'm gonna trust Dimma on this one. I'm gonna trust Dimma on this one. He did closing pitcher East. Okay. I'm going to trust you because Infinite Hunger's saying it too. So we get the 2 remaining catcher spots in there. Well, hey, at least now I have some information on the closers. Yeah, Dan Armstrong. I mean, Dan Armstrong is insane. At least now we know. I mean, hey, we could go for that guy if need be. If need be. Okay, what week is it? It's week 12. So now we have the option of, do we try to scout out the top players to 100% availability, or do we look at players like John Weber? I mean, it does say Weber's injured. Because it would be Weber. We don't have anything about David Cervoni, at least not this week. Theodore Lee, second baseman Shu Kim, is projected outside the first round. Mr. Fat, sexy Canadian, good to see you. You going to game 5? I hope so, for your sake. I hope so, and I hope good things happen. Let's look at John Weber. Let's find out if John Weber is any good. You are? That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope, I'm not saying this sarcastically. I hope it goes well. And then once you guys play the Bruins, I hope you lose. But, you know. All right, yeah, John Weber's not worth it. So we got 2 weeks here to scout out the 6 players that we think will be the best available at pick number 5. We're not worried about the closers because we don't want to take someone with the 5th pick, maybe the 36th if they're available. Our scouts like Grant Riley. Leafs in 5 in round 2. Ooh. I like the cockiness. I like the cockiness, sir. The confidence. Bruins can stub their toes. How dare you? I will say, though, if it is Leafs Bruins in round 2 and the Leafs beat the Bruins, you better win the whole fucking thing. If you're going to ruin the greatest regular season of all time, you better win the whole fucking thing after that, you know? All right. Do we want to look at Grant Riley more? What we know about him right now isn't amazing. There's Bravo, who looks even less amazing, on 70% scouted. There's Johnny Welch. Oh my God, these starters look like trash. Jimmy Barton? Okay, let's get maybe. Well, I mean, the potential though for Barton doesn't look great. Oh, do we want to base it on potential? Do we want to base it on the info that's out there? There's like Antoine Rush who might be decent. It's pretty much all the starters. Like David Ramirez, what we know about him at first base, he's not going to be worth the risk given we don't need a first baseman. Andreas Morales at catcher, though, could be an elite defensive catcher. A lot of these starters are total toss-ups. They really are, but we do need a new ace of the pitching staff. Badly. Takahashi might have decent power. Everything else looks like trash. Don't know much about Orlando Feliz. Oh my God, the Oilers are pooping on the Kings. Hello, Rich Cairo. Let's find out more about you, sir. I don't care if you're listed as injured. Let's find out more about you. Espinoza really might not be that bad. All right, let's look at more info about Francisco Espinoza. And then Owen Valley again, defense first catcher. Cervoni might be decent at the plate. The defense looks pretty good. Jimmy Rimo as an outfielder has everything you could want except his throwing strength sucks. Henry Wells, Jesus. Okay. He's only 20%. Jesus, what are we going to do? I need to look up more about Cairo. I need to look up more about Espinoza. Let's play it safe. Let's find out more about Grant Riley. Catcher, left, and starter. This is turning into a pretty difficult draft for us here. It is, it is. Last bit of scouting that we get. Okay, Cairo's not worth the risk. He's going to be a good starting overall, but he is a virtual certainty to be a C potential. That's not worth the risk at 5th overall, especially if he's available later. Espinoza. The fielding dropped off a bit too far. Grant Riley, though, 80 to 95 potential, so guaranteed B with a good shot of being an A. A lot of those per nines and everything are very scary, but he might be the guy. Yeah, Bravo at a 73 to a 94. Barton's a 72 to a 93. So was Welch. This Morales as a catcher. I feel like we're going to have to go with a starting pitcher. I do want to find out more about Andreas Morales, though, given that it's a position of need. Really quickly. So in right, there's nobody here with an elite potential range that we know of. Tim Coe, 76 to 92. Oh, you look like trash. He has good speed. That's it. Everything else looks awful. We might have to look at him, though. Hank Maloney does have a good potential range as well. I want to look at Hank Maloney. I want to look at Tim Coe. We're not really worried about shortstops, third baseman, even first base, David Ramirez. Catcher is the only other position that we could look at. Hey, the Kings scored. Owen Valley, 67. There's a couple of 67 to 98s. Catcher, what's going on, buddy? I don't know what we're going to do about the catcher position. We're doing good. We're doing good. Feeling good. Jim Barton starting overall. Looks a hell of a lot better. Is there anybody here who's more interesting than a 72 to a 93? Anybody at all? We use the general. Hello, Corey Carlson. Oh my God. Well, we're definitely going to look at you more. I want to know more about these three who look pretty damn interesting. I got to know for sure how good they are. We head to the 2034 draft in Pittsburgh. We have yet to make the playoffs, and from the looks of it, we still won't make it this year. We suffered a massive setback not all that long ago. The question is, what happens now? There is that closer, Dan Armstrong, who looks insane. I know Carlson's 23, but if the overall went up off of further scouting, he could have been worth it. 23 years old, you know, doesn't immediately dismiss you. So Dan Armstrong, I hope's available at 36. That would be a steal. There's no way in hell, though. This guy is set up to be a near generational closer. There's Grant Riley. And then honestly, it kind of drops from there. I'm not worried about Ryan, Ridley. There's Bravo that we have some interest in. Jim Barton, Welch, Rush, Morales. I can't imagine justifying taking him early on. Or Gomes. I'm sorry that I'm going through this kind of quickly, but it is necessary. Espinoza, I don't think I can risk taking him 5th overall. But if he's available in round 2, that would be awesome. John Weber, same thing. He might have good power, but he's also hurt. Japanese cannon. Takahashi with that potential power. Owen Valley at catcher. Feliz, Savoni. Raimo, you'd have to hope would be a B. Okay, we kind of know what direction we're going in. It's going to be a starter, which is probably what we should have done last year, but it is what it is. Based off of what we know, I can't imagine taking Andreas Morales. I just can't. I just can't do it. And then there's, okay, so there's Alonzo Ruiz, 72 to 93. Antoine Rush, we just don't know enough about. He could be great, but we don't know enough about him. 70, 70, 70, 70. Life is but a dream. 54 to 75. Moment. 63 to 84. 57 to 78. And in that potential, 55 to 70. So, in terms of projected starting overall, it does have Jim Barton at the top. 63 to 84 range, 72 to 93 potential, so good chance he's a B. The attributes do look pretty good. We'll see who's available. We're obviously leaning towards Grant Riley, but we can't guarantee he'll be available 5th overall. Let's find out. Let us find out. Lettuce. You gotta eat the lettuce. St. Louis, Colorado, Philadelphia. Kick us off. The St. Louis Cardinals, #1 overall. Select catcher Rich Cairo. Really? We were looking at this guy and saying maybe in the 2nd round. They took him 1st overall. Clearly, their scouts disagree with ours. Wow. There goes Rich Cairo, 1st overall. That helps us. 2nd overall. Do you believe it was Colorado? And the Rockies select the closer, Dan Armstrong. No surprise. Again, I get it. Like, oh, you took a closer 2nd overall. That dude looks generational. Nearly. Only 40% scouted for us, but there goes Dan the man. And 3rd overall, we're 2 picks away here. 3rd overall. Who's it going to be? And the answer to Philadelphia is 1st baseman David Ramirez, son of Manny. We're 1 pick away from getting that starter. Unless Chicago, I believe it was. Yes, unless Chicago screws it up. We're hoping that they don't take Grant Riley. At 4, the Chicago Cubs select the outfielder Tsuyoshi Takahashi. Wow. So the AI feeling confident. 3 out of the top 4 are position players. But with the 5th pick here in Pittsburgh, there's no doubt in my mind we got to go for the guy who's got that high potential. It's going to be the starting pitcher, Grant Riley, that we pick up 5th overall. First time in a long time we haven't really had to stress or sweat about, okay, who are we taking? That seemed pretty much like a slam dunk. There were no, there were no kind of crazy players that tempt us. That was the right move. Johnny Welch goes off the board to Detroit. When's the last time most teams got past Game 5? I don't know. Kind of crazy. No sweeps. Let's see. Starting pitcher Antonio Villanueva goes to Houston. He was projected as a second rounder. San Fran takes Alonso Ruiz. Yeah, no surprise the starting pitchers are going off the board. No surprise whatsoever. Mets at 9. Andreas Morales, the other catcher. This is going to be a weird draft to look at. It's going to be a weird one to look at. Cleveland takes starting pitcher Carlo Bravo. We were looking at him too, but felt pretty good about Grant Riley. Seattle, shout out to Tomster Foolery. What a name. What's going on? And hello, AJ, as well. Antoine Rush. We didn't know too much about him. Seattle takes him 11th. Yankees went from like world champions to picking 12th. Prismatic. I mean, hey, I'm going to have to at some point, but, you know. And Cam, good to say hello to everybody filing in. My goodness. My goodness. Yusnel Guerrero goes to the Yankees. Texas takes Bonds. Sean Bonds, who was projected 78th. Goodness. And hello to Mills. My God. Angels took that injured first baseman, Johnny Weber. Kansas City takes third baseman, Eric Gomes. Eric Gomes. The Reds won the World Series. That happened. That did happen. Boston, you fucks. I guess their scouts also found Hank Maloney. We had no choice but to take Riley. We couldn't take a player like Maloney, 5th overall. Oh, that hurts though. I was really hoping to get him in the second round. I was. It's not necessarily elite at anything, but Jim Barton, starting pitcher, goes 17th to Milwaukee, right on the money. Darius Ambrose, right fielder, goes to Arizona. Henry Wells, the center fielder, on his way to the Dodgers. And Baltimore takes Willard McCullough. A lot of outfielders in this draft. Burt Drew, 2 first names, projected to be a second-round pick, goes in the first. Right fielder goes to Tampa. Washington takes left fielder Santiago Batista, son of Jose. Which means Toronto's pissed and they take Elmer Perez, another center fielder. My God, the outfield. The outfield in this draft, though, has been nuts. Marlins take outfielder Francesco Espinoza. All of the guys we were hoping would be available in the second round are long gone by the time we get that next pick. There goes catcher David Cervone. Cervone, perhaps? I'm going with Cervone. Damn it. San Diego at 26. Third baseman Kyle, son of Steve Borden. As I just lost my connection to the Twitch server, baby. And my internet outright died. That's not good. It's going to disconnect me from this. This will be fun to see what happens, everybody, on the YouTube side of things. My internet just died. GG's.